All right, welcome back. This is Hump Day, right? Hump Day edition of my anti-dog crusade here. And I'm going to just talk about some random things once again. A lot happens in the dog world. So from time to time, in between focusing on one subject, I deal with a lot of things that's going on. Now, I talked about this before. There are a lot of foreigners right now in the United States. There are a lot of foreigners here in the U.S. and there are a lot of foreigners in their home countries who write articles. And sometimes they'll write for an American-based media outlet. I assume they're doing that, seeing that they do it in all other businesses for the most part. I literally work with people in Mexico every day, for example, and I've never seen them in person. But I don't care if they're in their homeland or if they're over here. They seem to be more willing to put out ridiculous articles. They're more willing to go overboard. Almost like their handlers are afraid to say it themselves. So they instruct the foreign journalist to write it. And this is an example, I think. And I've seen many. There's another one by this same author. I couldn't find it. Where there's even worse example. Chicago police officer shoots unleashed dog. Injures another cop in the process. Now this happens all the time. One of the reasons they should be banned. Okay? What you're explaining here, and I have to touch on the subject itself, what you're talking about, what you're describing here, is a violent creature. If they're always shooting, and they're always shooting them, okay, just keep that in mind. Now, there's a segment right here. After she explains what happened, after she explains the situation, she goes into this sort of, she wants to lecture the listeners, the readers. Look at this. This unfortunate incident sheds light on the prevalence of dog shooting. They wrote pet, but dogs. Listen, people. Pet shootings by law enforcement. What pet other than dogs do cops shoot? This is a real good example of what I point out all the time. How they try to use the word pet rather than dog. To make it seem like cops are out here shooting pet rabbits, pet cats. Stop it. They only shoot dogs. I mean, okay, let's continue. She even points out here in the United States, cops have to shoot about 10,000 dogs every year. Who does that reflect badly on? Well, this journalist is trying to say that it reflects badly on the cops themselves. Look at what she said. She said, while police officers mostly use their weapons in self-defense, most dogs are shot in questionable circumstances. No, they're not. No, they are not. Prove it. Goes on, says, the harsh reality is that a majority of the dogs killed by police are seemingly misjudged as aggressive. No, they're not. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Show me one video. Understand, these people, cops, wear body cameras. Several of these shootings have been caught on them. Look at them. They don't misjudge the dogs as aggressive. Police officers will look at a large, aggressive bully breed and say, come here, boy. That's what cops do. They do not misjudge no dogs as aggressive. Where are you getting at? They don't shoot these mutants until they launch an attack on them. So she's just outright lying. No, that's not the harsh reality, ma'am. The harsh reality is that you're delusional. Seemingly misjudged as aggressive. She said, more often than not, dogs tend to act on their natural protective instincts during stressful situations, which can include encounters with law enforcement. What natural protective instinct is at play when you see someone and launch an attack on them? Huh? What are you talking about? And if this is true, if we're dealing with a large predators who just by laying eyes on us feel like, they need to protect themselves, then they have no place in this society. That's exactly what makes them incompatible with human society. She tried to go extreme here. Like, how did you find this out also? And what protective instincts? Elaborate on that. Because I think you're just being creative here as a writer. What are you talking about? Stressful situations. Usually, when cops shoot dogs, the dogs are in process of attacking someone else. Usually, the cop rolls up, they're called. They're usually called out. Cop walks up and sees a dog attacking someone, shoots it, saves their life. Most dogs are shot that way. I'm telling you, as a person who keeps up with dog attacks, something I know for a fact you don't. The other shootings, we all seen them. I show them whenever I find them. The cop will be doing his job. He's just walking. He's present just like all the other people. Or he's been called to a home and he has to come onto the property. He gets attacked. And don't talk to me about no protective instincts to attack, launch lethal attacks on people simply for coming onto your lawn. This whole law and idea that people who come onto your property should be sliced open with daggers is ridiculous. Saying that it's some people's job to walk onto our property. You got landlords, maintenance crews, plumbers, police officers, mail carriers. This society involves walking on other people's property. And we need to create an environment to make that possible. Don't talk to me about protective instincts or the necessity, the need to stab people repeatedly who come onto our property. Look at this. Police killing of innocent dogs has become an epidemic in the U.S. Given the increasing cases of officers using lethal force on non-aggressive canines. Non-aggressive. There has never been a cop that I've seen or heard of that shot a dog that was non-aggressive. None of them. What are you talking about? See, these people are so accustomed to not being checked, to not being held up to scrutiny, that they just go buck wild. They'll write a complete fantasy with confidence. Ma'am, and look at her. This is her. She writes a lot of nutter articles. Now, this is the kicker. This lady, this is her name, Milka Molanda. She's from the Zambia. From the Zambia. So really, what are you talking about? You know what this is? Nothing but a puppet. A slave. Somebody willing to come over and I'll write anything you want me to. Beat it. Your goofy, false, right, misleading articles are unwanted. So be on the lookout for articles like that, please. They really go over the top with the nuttery. But the dangerous thing is, a lot of these nutters, they will believe this nonsense. I've never seen a cop shoot a non-aggressive dog. None of you have either. Now look at this. This is ridiculous. Chance, what? Lunch delivery leads to dog adoption. This man was delivering food, I guess, to staff at this shelter. This is one of the craziest little stories I ever read. Look at what this man, a father, he has I think a 5 or 6 year old. And he's 51 years old. He was delivering this food and he saw this dog. He said it was love at first sight or some nonsense, some nasty feeling, emotion he got when he saw it. He said, my daughter's been asking me for a puppy for the longest time. She wanted a dog so bad. Listen, a 5-year-old don't want nothing. They don't want nothing, and they don't know what they want. What are you talking about? And I don't believe that. And if she, and listen, that is just a flat out lie. You just conditioned her this way. She didn't become a dog lover without your help, without the help, without adults instilling that into her. Stop it. No 5-year-old coming out asking for no dog. Yeah, because it was a weekend, blah, blah, blah. Daughter been asking me for the longest time. Look at this. You see this? This man went to a shelter and got a 65-pound bully breed. He said, my daughter's been asking for a puppy for the longest time. And he went out and bought a 65-pound bully breed. For your 5-year-old daughter? Okay. And this is what these people signal boost. And understand, People Magazine did a story about this. Is People Magazine you're looking at. The Washington Post did a story on it as well. The Washington Post. This is what they're trying to push. This is what they want people to do. You got a 5-year-old? Go to a shelter and get a pit bull. Why do you think they would encourage people to do this? Because there's money in it. Money can be extracted from that home if you send a pit bull inside. See how that works? Give us your money to pay for the dog and everything that goes with it. And maybe one day something happens inside of there where we can get another $100,000, $200,000. When this is happening for half of the population of the United States, you know how much money that is? All because of your stupid decision to endanger them and your stupid self. What a hustle, right? Now, this man is not done. He said it was love at first sight. Look at this. He said he and his daughter played catch with the dog. Stop. No, you didn't. And this is another thing I want to touch on. Like this idea of kids playing with dogs. Kids can't play with dogs. They can't play catch with dogs. Dogs don't catch nothing. They will run and retrieve something that you throw, but ain't nothing fun about that. That's a goofy way to play. You understand? If you're going to be throwing something like a ball, throw it to another human who can catch it. The excitement is in how far you can throw and whether or not they can catch it. With a dumb dog, whatever you throw, land on the ground, they go get it. Stop talking like that's something so special in a child's life. Beat it with that goofy Little House on the Prairie nuttery. It was amazing. He even lying, embellishing on the lie. That mud ain't catch nothing. Ain't nobody caught nothing. That dog ain't throw nothing and it ain't catch nothing. So what is you talking about? You see how they lie just to make things sound good? Oh, we play catch with the dog. Goofy. Lord, life ain't about being fake. And I've been wanting to talk about this for so long. I hate it so much when they suggest that kids play with dogs. No, they don't. Got this giant mutt. And, it'll be interesting if I have to report on him and his daughter in the future. Hopefully I don't. But they're pushing this type of lifestyle. This is a quote from the staff. His adoption is just so special. Bringing people and pets together is really the cure or the core of our mission. There's so much love and joy in adopting a pet. To see a pet that was so loved by our entire community thriving with his new family means everything to us. Now you can hear how lost people would swallow that hook, line, and sinker. Okay? This is crazy to me. The most major media outlets promoting the idea of bringing a fully grown, male, intact bully breed inside of homes where there are toddlers. I told y'all they are promoting this. When I share these stories of these deaths and mutilations, okay, they'll report the attacks happening and then show you, put it right in your face, how they're advertising for it to happen, how they're encouraging these attacks. This is how they're doing it. Putting out lies like this, even articles like this, where she's trying to criticize cops for shooting dogs. It's all to promote lifestyles like this. Very sick part of our culture. How many of y'all heard about this joker? Well, no. I did not know this. Did I report? I don't remember reporting this. Has he been back? I know some of the followers watch basketball. Has he been back? The last I remember, and maybe I'm doing too much. Last I remember, he went back. Right? He had went back and they were singing, they were laughing at him. He had a little cast on his hand. But they put this out too? Yes, listen. This was a disservice to the general public. This whole situation with this basketball player, because he's a public figure. Anytime these public figures get attacked, they minimize it. Then they'll try to get them back into action as soon as possible. Try to minimize it. That's the goal after every attack, no matter what type of attack you're talking about. First thing they do is try to minimize it. But understand, dog attacks can completely ruin your life in an instant, that fast, and you lose your job. You no longer have a stable income. You may even look different. You're no longer a heartthrob to men, to women. Nothing ruins your life. Very few things ruin your life like being attacked by a dog. And just to emphasize that, some lady recently got attacked in her face by a border collie. Now, y'all remember a border collie owner was bragging about
covering West
how harmless and safe border collies are. We've seen border collies on the list.
We're covering West Alabama now. New on 6 on your site.
On the lists from people who say that these are some of the safest dogs around. Listen to this.
Get a look at these pictures. This is a woman from Colon who is recovering tonight from a dog attack. She has a black eye, bruises, and a busted lip. Thankfully, she's going to recover.
It does not look like a very much fun recovery there. Brian Henry is live from Tuscaloosa County with Brian. What she tells us happened to get her to this place.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to point out, this is where my family moved up to Ohio from, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Well, Jonathan, Sarah, this happened Sunday afternoon behind a church in Coaling. The story involves a man, his teenage daughter, both unhoused, their border collie, and the woman who reached out to help them. Michelle Battles had an unholy encounter behind her church, and the wounds to prove it. A deep gash.
Did he say an unholy encounter?
Michelle Battles had an unholy encounter behind her church, and the wounds to prove it. A deep gash below the right eye, scratches above the same eye, and a cut on her lips.
So it makes it hard.
She's not even that disfigured. She's lucky. This was your facial dog attack? You're lucky. And even still, she's lost. You know, this could really hurt the confidence of a young, very attractive person who's, generally a heartthrob. This can put a pause to, 4-8 weeks of clubbing. They're like, hey, I need to wait till I heal first.
And the wounds to prove it. A deep gash below the right eye, scratches above the same eye, and a cut on her lips.
So it makes it hard to move my eye around. And all I can remember seeing is his mouth.
12:15 Sunday afternoon, the morning.
She was going out trying to be nice to this mutt. I told you, don't feed them. Don't feed them. They do not spend your money. Don't be wasting money on these mutants. Give it to some kind of charity instead for people.
Service had just ended. Battles noticed a homeless man and his teen daughter in church and felt the spirit to feed them, including their 40-pound border collie tied up in the back. Battles says she got the food at a nearby store, including dog food.
Tied up over there. He did growl when he was tied up, but he was running around playing.
Running around while the man and his daughter packed up the food Battles had purchased for them. Battles says the dog appeared to be friendly.
And I'll come to right here.
Next thing she knew,
come to me, lunged on me, and he jumped. And he had my face for a snack.
Now okay, that's an unprovoked attack. That's an unprovoked attack, man. Is it not? And this is always the narrative. When people get attacked, when adults, let me rephrase that, when adults are attacked, this is always the story. It's completely unprovoked. Unprovoked. Keep that in mind.
And he had my face for a snack.
Humor aside, Michelle Battles required several stitches and more than her share of rabies shots, with a few more to go.
Man, I know Jacqueline Duran is looking at this like, lady, really? This makes the news?
Although she doesn't believe the dog was rabid.
I had to take 6 yesterday. I have to go back Wednesday.
Michelle Battles has had 2 days to digest it all, and what puzzles her is that it was a border collie that attacked her. A fellow parishioner witnessed the attack and drove Battles to DCH in Tuscaloosa for emergency treatment.
I am surprised. And everybody is saying a border collie? Really?
There is no anger. The shock has worn off.
A border collie? Really? A border collie? Lord. So, yeah. You can't trust any of these things.
Michelle Battles is on the mend. Battles says she decided early on not to file charges because they were homeless. Battles says she has no idea where they are today, including the dog.
Hands, you know, because she's like, you're bleeding.
Bleeding, but now healing after coming face to face with teeth from a 40-pounder.
It's just one big bite. And then
Michelle Battles says she is expected to make a full recovery from her wounds, and there is no evidence her vision in her right eye has been affected.
Okay. I don't minimize these attacks because honestly, this ain't even
Gash below
newsworthy.
the right eye.
Wasn't even newsworthy. She's not really in bad shape. Okay. The fact that she was trying to help these people is what I want to point out. A lot of these so-called homeless people keep dogs because they think it's a way to attract more money, more people. You know, if they gonna have sympathy on the dog, you can sort of leech off the dog. Don't give these people nothing. Walk up to give this dog food and it attack you. No, thank you. I'm tired of people admiring these things when they clearly have the worst character possible. A complete leech. 100% leech. Needs everything to be fed, to be picked up after, even pick up its crap. Disgusting. You do nothing but be annoyed and waste money. I'm telling y'all, these goofy mutants, they're not natural, and we should hate them because of that. I despise anything that's unnatural, that's also killing and hurting people, that humans are unnaturally keeping on this earth. We're the only ones maintaining the existence of these things. Without us, they will die off. And that's sick. Why are we keeping these things on this planet if they're causing so many problems? Look at this. Look at what's on your screen now. CDC temporarily bans dogs from some countries. People, it's over 100 countries. They banned dogs from being imported into this country, from coming into this country from over 100 countries. Because of rabies risk. No, because they're so disgusting and disease-ridden. Should have done this a long time ago. The whole existence of the CDC is a joke. Centers for Disease, you're not controlling nothing. Y'all promote this dog culture too. Even dog lovers themselves are forced to ban the import of dogs from over 100 countries. Dogs are so unwanted and so incompatible with humans that even the people that maintain their existence have to also shoot them and gun them down all the time. Block the import of them from over 100 countries. Create animal control. Even y'all have to respond. Like I said, in many of these apartment complexes, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, nothing over that. They're forced to put restrictions on these things themselves. That gives you a clear picture of how incompatible they are in human territory. That's ridiculous. At a time like now, we should be getting rid of these things, period. Importing them from no countries. Now, as y'all know, this happens all the time. This was one of the more bizarre cases where dogs went and killed 45 sheep. 45 sheep. This is probably the most consistent type of news. Y'all notice these types of cases are just as frequent, if not more, than all the rest, the attack cases. Look at how abnormal these things are. I don't admire this. I don't respect. This is not God created behavior. Look at this. Let's look at a natural animal for a change.
All dogs. Fighting.
Oh, man. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. There's another one coming. Oh, my God.
Now, let me speed this up a little bit. Short video. Now, what you see here, not even the presence of the other dogs is motivating this lion to release that dog and go kill them like dogs do. Dogs kill, mutilate, move on to the next. Move on to the next. And they'll do this 40, 50 times. Look at it. The lion just got one kill like a natural predator supposed to do and walking away. He didn't paying them dogs no attention. A stupid mutt would be killing everything in sight like they do all the time. That's not natural. That's not the behavior of a natural animal. I don't want to hear that. Now you see 3 dogs. He focusing on his kill. He's not just killing dog after dog after dog. He barely even looking at it. Now it's 4 dogs. This is natural behavior. This is a true predator. They don't kill for fun or sport. They kill for food. In some cases, they'll kill to set an example. If, say, a herd or a pack of hyena come into their territory, they will mutilate one, leave it there as an example. They might mutilate 2, leave it there as an example. A lot of times they're not even hungry. They've already eaten. But generally, if they're not doing that, and they only do that, they don't invade the territory of those others and do that. Dogs leave their own territory, trespass on others, and kill multiple of those prey animals. They should be despised for that behavior. It's not natural. That's not how the universe, the creator, intended for animals, for predators to behave. There's nothing about dogs that we are forced to appreciate. Nothing. Don't ever let these people try to guilt shame you when they find out you don't like dogs. They can't even sort of do that. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you cut it, these things are abnormal. They're abnormal, and we are not obligated to appreciate their presence. Now, this I saw this article as well today. Pulled this up. Taunton, where is that? Dog to be rehomed as tests show it is not an XL bully. Y'all know this is what I be talking about. Oh, that's not an XL bully. That's perfectly safe, right? Oh, it's not a banned breed. That's perfectly safe, right? This is the dog hustle right here. The bully breed hustle. Where is Taunton? Let me find. This is in England, most definitely. The madness, I can't keep my eyes off what's going on over there. This is so bizarre to me, the way that they're only looking at XL bullies as somehow a lethal threat. This would be convincing if these dogs were incapable of killing people. How can y'all possibly walk around as if y'all doing something? It's not even respectable. I do not respect this stupid XL bully ban at all because it is a pro-bully tactic. They're trying to gain sympathy for these things so that people go out and purchase more of them. They'll just get breeds other than the XL bully. That can actually boost the number of bully breeds in people's homes. Remove the XL bullies, and they haven't even removed them, people. But let's say allow them to die off and then flood the population of people with more dogs than there were before when they had the XL bullies with them. That's all they're doing. So no. Some people who recently followed the channel asked me what I think about the XL bully ban because they haven't seen some of the previous videos that I made about it. But if you just type it in the search engine on my channel, XL bully, they should all pop up because I made sure to put the tag into all of them. But yeah, I'm keep me posted on the development. I know over there in Ireland they were talking about a ban, and I guess now they decided not to put a ban in place in Ireland. Also another area they decided no, we won't have an XL bully ban. And listen, I'm not complaining about it. It's dumb anyways. Talk to me when you got a bully breed ban. All right? I'm not moving until that happens. Now there's something else I wanted to deal with. I have a problem, as you all know, with professionals, dog professionals, whether they are veterinarians, dog trainers, dog behaviorists. They are the laughing stock of professionals. I can't think of another line of professionals that are as flawed, that put out as much misinformation, lies, as so-called dog professionals. Now, the veterinarians, not so much because they don't only specialize in, the behavior of dogs. They also shoot them up, they euthanize them, and all that kind of stuff. But from time to time, as you all know, you'll hear from a veterinarian and they'll spew the same goofy, false rhetoric as the behaviorists and trainers. In the past, I've challenged the most popular of all doctors, dog professionals, and I haven't heard back from any of them. From time to time, I want to remind these so-called professionals, you have critics. You have critics. Now, I thought I would Google this phrase this morning. It hit me, and I thought that there might be some people who wanted to talk about this. Some dog owners who would say something like this. And I still believe this is something that I believe has been said. Dog owners, or people who might think about, who are thinking about getting a dog. They get a dog attacks a kid, and they would say, I never thought dogs would attack kids. There's some people out there who have it in their mind that dogs will look at a kid same way we do. And it might be the majority of them. It's a popular mindset. They think that dogs in general will be more gentle with kids and babies, will know that they're kids and babies and treat them accordingly. which I don't know how on earth, ignorance is all I can think of, will cause a person to think like that. But when you Google that phrase, and I still think it's, what is it? 173 million results. Now, I don't know if that's a lot or not, but it's up here. And this is the top result, and this is the second from the top. I've challenged these doctors several times. There's like a team of doctors on this one. This was, people, when you Google that phrase, the worst possible article is at the very top. This one right here, USA Dog Behavior LLC. This thing sounds straight up demonic. Here it is right here. Wait a minute. Oh no, it's not that one. That's not the worst. That's not the very worst. This is the very worst. And I'm gonna show y'all both of them. First, this one on USA Dog Behavior LCC. The top result. This is where the most truth should be. The very top, published April 18th last year. Look at this. Just look right out the gate. Short answer. Okay, here's the question. Would my dog ever bite my child? Short answer, yes. Even your sweet family dog could bite your child, given the right context. We forget sometimes that dogs are, if nothing else, animals. When push comes to shove, they will default to exhibiting animal behaviors. When push comes to shove. This is right here their first attempt to lay the foundation to blame the victim. They go on to say, and when I say this, I mean this phrase right here, when push comes to shove. They're suggesting the dog is fed up, can't take any more of this pestering from this kid. They go on to say, no one can guarantee that a dog, even your own, will not bite your child. Some dog owners think their family dog would never hurt a flea, much less bite their own child. Remember that dogs are animals and, given the right circumstances, may respond to your child by biting. The very first result, all the way up at the top. They're not wasting no time. When dogs attack your kids, they're reacting to something your kid did. Flat out. Understand that what I'm showing you right now, this is why nothing happens. This is why they call it an accident every time. Nothing happens to the owner. Many times nothing happens to the dog. It's because of this right here. Other dog attacks, they're not called an accident. I just showed you this lady told you she explained an unprovoked attack to us. And that's how it always is when people are attacked. And I'm talking about the general public. Every time they explain an attack on themselves, they explain an unprovoked attack every single time. And when it comes to youngsters, it's mandatory that every single time they did something to it. The dog's reacting. It's responding. It's getting fed up. Push come to shove, it can't take it anymore. It's going to attack. This is where the real sickness is in dog culture, right here. And then they share the craziest statistics. 82% of dog bites treated in the ER involve kids 15 and under. Well, they say younger than 15. That's 82% of the victims. What? I guess all of them just pestering the dogs, huh? Bite rates are dramatically higher for children between 5 and 9. Dramatically higher? Oh my goodness. How is this possible? 65% of bites among children occur to the head. Wow. Again, there are young people listening to my videos. This information could very well traumatize them because they realize I can be next. And if they're between 5 and 9, this is like terrifying information. Wow, okay. And most likely you're going to get attacked in your head and neck? Okay. Wow, can you imagine what it must feel like to have fangs sink into your neck? Y'all willing to open the door, create the conditions for that to happen? Oh, yes. That's dog culture. That's them. 65% of bites to children is in the head and neck. Head and neck. 65%. Look at how at risk they are. And these people want to put out stuff like this. Yeah, go get one. Go get one. Oh, you got a 5-year-old? Oh, perfect. Shelter right down over here. Get a fully grown bully breed. Why do you think they're doing this? These are crazy statistics if you ask me. 77% of dog bites come from the family dog or friend's dog. Boy, oh boy. Most people don't appreciate how quickly a dog can bite. Most, but not all, dogs give a warning growl before biting. The interval between the growl and the bite can sometimes be just milliseconds, making avoidance virtually impossible. And that's exactly why they have no business in the home. Thank you. There's nothing to talk about. And again, if any of you so-called professionals ever want to refute something I'm saying, I bet you I could use something you've already said to beat you in your own argument. This is very incriminating right here. I would quote this word for word if I were in front of the Supreme Court to argue why they should be banned. Thank you. That is insane. Teaching your child to recognize situations when a dog might bite is key to preventing bites. This is the very top result. Does that sound even realistic to you? And people, if the interval between the growl and bite is milliseconds and you can't avoid it, what's the point in a kid recognizing a situation when it might attack? Huh? That doesn't even make sense. And adults don't even see these warning signs or situations. Adults miss them. How's a kid supposed to catch them? Adults, y'all be getting attacked all the time. So stop. That's more of their con artist propaganda, including bites from family pet. Look at this. Educate your children and yourself on the basics below and closely monitor them to ensure they adhere to these guidelines. Unknown dogs, okay, they're blaming the victim. The very top results blame the victims, and they do it in like a horrible way. Horrible way. Children need to know that, look at this, getting face to face with any dog. Again, statements like this, I wouldn't have any objection to it at all if I actually saw attacks that proceeded with a kid running up and getting in its face. We don't see that. We don't see that. So why are you even don't mention stupidity? Like, the people who usually get into a dog's face is the adults. Y'all can't sit here and say they need to be taught not to when y'all do it. And that's a strict part of dog culture, to get in a dog's face. Don't stop it. They're throwing anything out there, even things that they themselves do, saying that the kid shouldn't do it. So that when the dog attacks the kid, they go, oh, the kid did what I told him not to do. But you can see they're strictly blaming the kids. In a dog's world, getting in its face can be considered confrontational. So why do you, the adults, do it so much? Huh? That's part of your culture. You can't now say that it's so wrong. Lord, these people. A dog might do this many times to the family dog with no consequence. However, this is not 100% predictor of future behaviors. So how relevant is the temperament test? Okay? If you can pull a dog's food bowl as it's eating and it doesn't attack, can't you say that that is not 100% predictor of future behaviors? Can't you apply that to that as well, to your temperament test? If you can apply it to a child, getting into a dog's face, huh? Let's say a child gets into a dog's face and the dog doesn't attack. It's just like a temperament test. So you just incriminated temperament test. Thank you. But this one took the cake. And when I remember, I got the photos of all these doctors. This was put together by a team of doctors. How many is it? 1, 2, I think, maybe, what is that? 2, what in the world? 3, 4. 4 of them. Tagged them and everything. Because this article is that infuriating. And this one is the second from the top. VCAhospitals.com. Oh, this is madness. People, this type of sick, child-hating rhetoric comes from doctors in hospitals. What? Why are y'all calling these people? These people are not doctors. Like, wow. Just straight up satanic evil comes from these people. Look at this. At the very top, dog behavior problems, aggression, children. What is the impact of dog aggression towards a child? What's the impact? Okay, this is how they started. Dogs are wonderful, part of many children's lives. However, fearful or aggressive dogs attack. So right away, if it attacks a child, it was either fearful or aggressive. This is what they're saying. Fearful or aggressive dogs pose a risk. Children can behave erratically, move in unpredictable ways. Okay, they're talking about fear now, right? Children are interested in dogs and may want to touch them even when, okay, talking about fearful again. Even though they're showing signs of fear or aggression. Listen, why? Look at how they refer to aggression as if it's just something the dog has the right to be. Signs of aggression. Children are at greater risk because they're at the same level as the dogs due to their height and because they're often, they're smaller. Children may behave inappropriately Children may behave inappropriately towards dogs by pulling their tails, hair, or ears. This is why those behaviorists, like the one I just showed the other day, hop on camera in front of the camera on the news and say that. Because they Googled it and saw it here. And that's what they do. They'll go on, they'll see what somebody else said or wrote and regurgitate it. That's the only reason they say this. It's because they looked online and saw places like the VCA hospital said it. And we've never seen that. Look at this. Most dog aggression towards children is what? Fear-based. Fear-based. Though many dogs will also show aspects of food aggression, possessive aggression, and territorial aggression. So, territorial, if you run and get in the dog's face. Okay? But understand, in this situation, territorial aggression, they're still projecting the dog as a victim, as doing something that it feels it has to do to defend itself. They're still projecting the dog as if the dog feels threatened and intimidated, when walking right up to you is what dogs do all the time. They do that better than any other living organisms. So this is still the dog is the victim talk. Possessive aggression, again, painting the child as the perpetrator. The dog is the victim. Kid take a toy from the dog, dog attacks. Food aggression, kid got too close while it was eating or tried to steal its food. We've heard them say that. So yeah, they're saying most aggression is fear-based, though many dogs will show aggression when the kid tries to take their food, their toy, or gets too close. They have not once projected the dog as the initiator of aggression unprovoked. They never even dealt with that, even though it's present in several attack reports. Unprovoked. They share statistics. Okay. Most likely bit. Okay. So this is just like the other one. Just like the other one. How can I prevent my dog from being aggressive towards children? Yeah. Socialize them. What in the world? Desensitizing them to being touched around the face and head. See, this is dangerous. No. How about don't stay away from them? This is horrible advice. We just heard a trainer say that dogs feel challenged when you touch them in the face and head. Why are you suggesting that people do this? No. And listen, this is still improper advice, because this will only reduce the chance that the dog will attack that particular child. Let's say a child during the time it's a puppy, let's say the child is socialized with it, living in the same home, whatever, that dog can still attack the neighbor's kid. This ain't nothing. Lord. Boy, oh boy, people. Yeah, it's the same rhetoric. It's all the same rhetoric. They've said that. We saw the video. That woman, she was on camera and said it. She said, steal their food. Steal their food. Steal the dog's food. Even if you put human food in a dog bowl, once you put it on the floor and put it in front of the dog, kid gonna want it. Nobody look at that food think they want it. But they will say anything. That's what I'm saying. They will say anything. They say as much as possible. so that they cover and have an excuse. They make sure to have an excuse when the attack actually happened. Don't scream, don't walk, don't run, don't talk, don't look. That way, when a dog attack you, they know they got you. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. But we got a big problem here, professionals. We never see this stuff on camera, and that's the problem. Yeah. Yeah, listen, we got to stop that. Most lack common sense and will just follow what is cool and accepted by society. Yeah, dogs are cool. Oh boy, I don't want to be an outcast. I don't want these people to look at me and think I'm an evil person. That's the worst type of character you want people to, apply to you, to attach to you. When they look at you as a sub, because that's what they're going to look at you as. If you say you don't like dogs, they're going to view you as a person who could possibly be a serial killer in the future. Oh, you hate dogs? Well, you must hate people. Huh? I don't trust people who don't love dogs. They say that all the time. So listen here. Dog professionals. I made videos about a lot of doctors, challenge them, have a little fun, say IHD versus whoever. And you never hear from them. I said a while ago, we need to take that as a confession. Because you should at least respond on your website, on your channel. I keep up with these dog lovers, the ones with YouTube channels. They don't even respond indirectly to anything that I say. Anything that we say at all. They really don't try to respond to anybody anywhere. And I don't blame them. The best thing for them to do, I think, is to get rid of this thing, get rid of these things, and leave this dog world behind. Just leave it behind. I don't see how their profession is going to extend and grow into the future with stigma like this coming out. No, you gotta. Most things have opposition. Most things have opposite. Most lifestyles have opposite. I'm not into bungee jumping. Right? And it's all about whether or not you can survive along with the scrutiny. I just don't think this can survive. Once people get to the point where they can find holes in every single thing you say and do, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay? That's like the telltale signs of a scam. That's how a scam is. They have holes all through them. Everything, every layer, everything has holes in them. They're held up by holes. They start off with holes. Man's best friend. Family. You can't be straightforward with dogs in any way. The headline you describing a dog should start killer. Because the most important thing to know about them is that they can take your life. Is that true or not? What's the most important thing for me to know about a dog? For anybody to know about a dog? It's that it could kill you. Right? Let's say you send somebody been living under a rock their whole life. Never seen a dog in their whole life. You're on the phone with them. And they tell you there's a dog in front of you. A dog. I never seen one of these. What would you tell them? if they said, what should I know about this thing? Is there anything I should know about this thing? I've never seen a dog. Okay, the first thing you would tell them, it can kill you. Stay away from it. Would you tell them to go up and pet it? Huh? We don't treat these things based on what they are. And to see people acting surprised when attacks actually happen is crazy. Yeah, that's what they do. They're killers. These are not even predators, man. These are not how predators don't behave like this. These are just flat out deranged killers. And, you know, this idea of projecting them as the best match, soulmate of 4-year-olds, people, we just had how many 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds attacked by dogs, killed by dogs? How could they possibly be a smart match? How could they be a smart combination, dude? Shouldn't that be unethical? I mean, you don't get anything for a 5-year-old that has just killed other 5-year-olds just days ago. Listen, let me retract that. That kills 5-year-olds and their peers, 4 or 5-year-olds, on a very regular basis. You get one for your 5-year-old and People magazine make an article about it, projecting it as, you know, the height of love. How does this happen? How does this go unchecked? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. We don't have this happening in no other part of society. We don't treat nothing else with kid gloves like it's acceptable, even though it's killing people, disfiguring people. Unbelievable. And again, we don't tolerate it. We don't tolerate it from no other animal either. They are so quick to kill other animals. Y'all know, in some part of the world, if an animal attack your dog, you have to gut it or so. There's a recent story came out about that. Let me see if I can pull that up. Where this guy, he claimed that a moose attacked his dogs. And I guess it's a law that if, correct me if I'm wrong, if something attacks, an animal attacks your dog, you have to gut it. Anybody know what that's about? Here's the video here. Yeah, I saw it a few days ago and I didn't really understand it. Just like, okay, what is this? I don't believe it. No. Guts moose that got entangled with his team during a race. So, what did they race these things? I guess some type of competition. And they made the killing of wildlife part of the rules. Y'all think they would do that for dogs? Was part of the rule to gut? Look at this. Veteran Musher, I don't know nothing about this sport, but it sounds crazy, had to kill a moose after it injured his dog shortly after the start of this year's, what is this? Iditarod? What is that? Race officials say. Dog race, blah, blah, blah. This came after the moose became entangled with the dogs in the Musher. It fell on my sled. It was sprawled on the trail. Okay. This guy, he's not the first Musher to have to kill a moose butcher had to quit the race. What is this? I don't understand this, but I'd like to. I would like to. I spent a few minutes trying to figure it out, and I still didn't understand it. What is that? They made it a part of the rules to kill it with a knife too. So a slow death for the natural animals of the world, and make it a sport, you know. Just the thought of killing dogs, putting their head on the wall, they look at you like you was crazy. They need to listen, dog lovers. You got to stop deifying these things. Y'all have deified them. You've deified them. You made deities out of them, and that is sick. Okay, it is as simple as that. That's sick. Yeah, what is that? So if anybody, you got to gut the moose. If you have any type of encounter, or if your dogs get into it with wildlife, you got to kill the wildlife. Is what I understood it to be. I'm like, what in the world is this? So that's really, they've made a sport out of killing animals. And these people call themselves animal lovers. Stop it. Now listen, if you're a professional, you're a dog trainer, behaviorist, I know some of you listen, some of you follow. Why don't you just get into a different profession? Why? What's the big deal? Especially if you're young. Get into a different profession. What are you going to do, like, if people challenge you in person? That's where this is leading. That's where it's headed. Where people out at a party or whatever, mingling, what do? Behaviorists. Somebody's going to know your whole profession and the con behind it through and through. When you called out on the spot, somebody's in your face saying the things as critical of your profession as we are here. What you going to say? You're just going to get owned. And listen, y'all might not. Slowly, there are dog lovers who are getting rid of their dogs. I don't know how many of you have seen the comments, but I've seen a lot of comments. People said that. They're either getting rid of dogs completely, or they've ditched bully breeds. So we are turning people against dogs. I'll guarantee you this. I'm talking to all you professionals. You're not getting anybody who's critical of dog culture to become a dog lover. It's not happened yet. It will never happen. Understand that. Who's the real professionals here? People are going anti-dog every day, if you ask me. People, don't y'all think there's a new member or subscriber to one of our channels or websites? Don't y'all think there's at least one person who follows Dog Free, Pit Bull Victim Reddit group, tens of thousands? Don't you think at least one person a day on this planet starts to follow? No anti-dog person is becoming a dog. Your profession is crumbling. It's crumbling. We are making a difference. And that's the only thing that keeps me going. Because I know it may be slow. It's slowly happening. And yes, you are still producing more dog lovers because, youngsters growing up under a dog loving parent are more vulnerable. Also, we're also able to reach more young people. Okay? Keep that in mind. I know y'all look at us or you look at me as extreme or whatever, but if y'all being realistic, you know I'm not extreme. Yeah, I make extreme statements just to open the door to explain it, why I say it. And what you realize is that, yeah, it might be extreme only because there's an extreme mistake that has happened. These mutants in society. That's an extreme error. So the solution is just extreme in your mind. Yeah? Yeah. Shout out to Gold Dirt. A lot of people who were on the fence. Now, a lot of people are leaving comments like that, or they're on the fence, undecided. Wasn't really against dogs, but wasn't really for them either. That happens a lot, where people are more vocal now. They were never really dog lovers, but they always kept it to themselves. Now they're becoming more vocal, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of us. And there has to be several of us every day, or several people who follow one of these groups, and we're gonna have an effect on some of them. I mean, I won't say we. The truth is gonna have an effect on some of them. But man, there's no way. I will listen. Dog critics, people who are critical of dog culture, don't play. They don't renege. They don't switch. No way. Once you wake up to how despicable dogs are, how dangerous they are, nasty and disgusting, heartless, soulless and evil they are, useless, been compared to brood parasites. There ain't no way you're going to go back to kissing and rubbing and touching these nasty things. Shout out to everybody able to join me. It's a little longer stream that I planned. Had a little extra time today. I'm going to get ready to go to work. Chop it up with the members tonight. And I will see y'all tomorrow as we continue with this crusade.